Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to take a look at the Igear PP01 Faith Leader 2nd edition. So this is the second production run that they did. It came with a few different accessories. The first one came with a G1 accurate, or a cartoon accurate head with the antenna that kind of are a little bit wider as opposed to the straight up and down. Now the antenna that are a little bit wider don't fit into robot mode on this one. So, and the original Masterpiece 10 did not have that anyway. So it does come with a few accessories here. We'll get these things all out. We'll take a look at each one. And I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of this mold. And it has its problems. But, yeah. I guess I thought this one came with articulated hands, but I've not seen them anywhere. So either they were, I guess they weren't included in this particular production run. Anyway, he comes in a box. Nothing too spectacular about the box. Alright, so he does come with a couple different head options. There's Orion, which it's just a ball joint, so you just pull it off and you can just take his head off. And you can just pop it on. Now he's Orion as opposed to Optimus. The sculpt on it's not the best looking sculpt. I'm not a huge fan of it at all. So we'll set that off to the back. He comes with a Megatron head. Sculpt is pretty good, but it's all the same silver plastic all the way around. The only paint detail on him is the eyes. And that's it. And ball joint's a lot tighter on this one, but you can get it in there. And you have a Megatron. I don't know why you would want to do that, but it is an option. Sitting here, I was looking at this earlier, but they don't quite, the size isn't quite right. I was like, maybe I can put that one on this one, but the sculpt on this one's better than this one. And this is actually really kind of pathetic sculpt, to be completely honest with you. So we'll set those off to the side here. Put his head back on. Let's see. Least fun accessory, aside from the heads that you don't need, would be collect a card. It's a card. He also comes with a cape. Yeah, some of these accessories are ridiculous. And what you do is this string that's right here, you want to get it around these little light thingies. And like so. And then you take these gold clips here, and these just fit on over the lights. Like so. And now he's got a cape. And I suppose you could rotate it around and have either purple or red, however you want. He's having a hard time standing. Now the original MP10 had lots of die cast in him, and it made him a lot more stable. So this guy doesn't have the die cast, so he's a little front heavy, to be honest. So yeah, there's that. So set those off to the side, get rid of the cape because we don't need the cape. See, now this is where, like, Toy World reissued the Hegemon figure and gave it a new head, but then took a bunch of accessories away. Now this one, the original version came with a different style head for Optimus, and different articulated hands. Now this one, instead of the hands or the head, came with the Orion and Megatron head and the cape. So at least it came with completely different accessories. So at least there's that. If you're gonna change it up, change it up. Don't just, we're not gonna include a bunch of accessories. He also comes with his rifle. He does not hold it very well. But what you want to do is just slide this in his hand here. And there's no real ports. It's not like the other Masterpiece figures. And I believe the MP10 or the original Masterpiece Prime was kind of like that too. And you just kind of grip his fingers around it the best you can. And he holds it, but if you bump it just right, it comes undone. And then you have to fiddle with it. It's fidgety. It's not the most secure gun ever, but you can get it in there relatively decently. Yeah. So take that out, set that off to the side. He comes with a second blaster. This one has a 5mm port, so if you have Classics Prime here, you just plug that in and it works. So I have an extra gun. That's what I'm going to use that for. And he comes with an Energon axe. And to utilize this one, what you want to do is we'll use this hand. This one, yeah, that one works better. So you slide his hand up into here, and then you take this Energon axe, and it just kind of plugs in like so. And now he's got an Energon axe. It doesn't work very well, but that's how you do it. And then, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Energon axe look, and it's really loose too. So it's not. Bleh. And then it also comes with a Megatron gun, which is pretty nice. Great detailing there. You can just slide that out, open up his hand, and just slide it in. And there you have him holding Megatron. He actually holds that better than his actual gun, so whatever, I guess. Win some, you lose some. But yeah, let's go over articulation here. And in case you guys didn't know about this figure, what he was a downscaled Masterpiece, the original Masterpiece. And he's downscaled to the point where he's actually smaller than the MP10, which was a new sculpt of Optimus Prime that was in the Masterpiece scale. So this guy is, I wouldn't quite put him in Masterpiece scale, but he's a little too big for Classic scale when he first came out. Now, I think he's just about right, and he's about the same size as Toy World's Orion. So, just to let you know about that, they're about the same size. Head here is on a ball joint. Great range of motion, looks up, down, left, right. He's got really gorgeous blue eyes in there. I don't know how well that's coming off. Let's try and zoom in. Come on. There we go. So yeah, he's got some really good painted eyes in there. No light piping, but looks good. He also has a button on the back of his head, right here. And if you push that, his mouth moves. I mean, it works, I suppose. Not entirely well. His shoulders are on swivels, so they go up and down. They go in and out. Bicep swivel, right there. He bends at the elbow, and he's got a piston in here that moves when you bend it, and he's got 3 different pistons back here that move when you bend it. So that's pretty cool. I do dig the way that works. Smokestacks are on spring-loaded hinges, so they just kind of flip in and out. Wrist is on a swivel, and it's got a hinge in there as well, and you can even see little pistons inside there. And I know the engineering is Hasbro, that Igear had essentially ripped off, but they downsized it. So yeah, we'll talk about KOs another day. But it is impressive that they did, when they downsized it, they still were able to get a lot of that stuff in there. His thumb is on a ball joint. Each hand, or each finger, has its own swivel, and there's a dog barking in the background. But each finger can move on its own. This piece has a tendency of falling off. I'm going to glue that together at some point. This figure, I'm not going to lie, he needs a lot of help. So, I'll just say right now, if you are not accustomed to fixing figures and making slight adjustments to tolerances on your own, this is not going to be a figure for you. Just, it's not. Ratcheted waist. You can hear the dog in the background still. Legs ratchet up. They ratchet down. In, out. Swivels at the thigh. He's got a great bend at the knee. And as you bend it, you can see all these different gears and stuff coming out. So it's really nice. And the feet are on ball joints, so they go up and down. Again, pistons move in the back. They do have a little bit of ankle tilt in there as well. And the toes got a little bit of posability there as well. So, I mean, he's got a lot of posability. These vents here can open up. They're kind of hard to get them to open up, but they do open up. I'm having a harder time keeping them open. There you go. So they open up, and then you can just close them up. Looks pretty good. And then his chest opens, and if you flip this little chrome piece up, there is a matrix inside, and that is removable. Although it's a huge pain in the butt to get to it. Let's see here. Just trying to pry it out. There we go. And here's the matrix. You can see it's just a little matrix. You can slide it open. Yeah, it's a matrix. And then we'll just pop that back in there. you go. So, we've burned up 15 minutes already, so this is going to be a long video. So let's not delay, and I'm going to pause it real quick, and then we'll go into transformation. Alright. So, what you want to do is you fold the thumb up right here, and then you fold these hands in like so. Do the same thing over here. Fold the thumb along the side there, and then fold the hands up. Come down here and pull this little panel out, and I recommend pushing it by the hand. You can pull it up by that, but I recommend pushing it by the hand just to kind of give it that extra help. Oh, he also has little wrist guards here that have wheelie on one side and I believe Ironhide on this side. I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Ironhide. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you open this one up. And I just clipped my fingernails not that long ago, so I'm having a hard time with that. So we'll just get another pointy thing. Go. And push this in. So, lock that into place. And there you go. So now he doesn't have hands. Let's see here. Fold the antenna down just a little bit. Go back to that in a second here. Let's see. You want to open up the chest and rotate the waist around. This whole assembly will just come down like so, and these wheel treads will come down, and you just kind of rotate them around so that they're facing forward. So this panel here is facing forward, like that. Just leave those down for now. So there's that. He's a fidgety little guy. I'm about to run out of battery, so I'll have to finish this another time. But flip this up, flip this out. This whole chamber here kind of likes to flop around a little bit, so you just kind of get it in there. So you want to, these panels here will be above this grill section that you just pulled out. And he's not complicated, he's just fidgety. Alright, so we got that taken care of. I want to pull this piece here back. Mine does not like to stay on. They're just on little friction pins. So I'm actually gonna see if I can't put little screws in there instead. And you take this piece here and you flip it around. As you can see, I'm having problems and I'm trying to be really careful with it. So you flip this all the way around like so. We'll put this back on. There we go. Like so. It's coming along now. I'm going to take the shoulder here, rotate this back. And you flip the arm in, and it just kind of slides in, just like G1 Optimus Prime would. And you give these guys a little bit of a push. They lock in together. Push these guys up. And you close up the canopy. sure everything's lined up and clicked into place properly. There you go. Alright, and then you take the foot here, and what you want to do is you pull this panel up, push this panel in. Those pivots came out. And these things are kind of a bitch to get back together. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, and then you just take the foot here and you rotate this around. And take the ball, pop the ball joint off, you know, because that's helpful. And pop that back into place. Alright, there we go. Flip that panel down, keep the feet out like so, and there you go. That's the back leg. We'll try it again on this side. Hopefully we won't have that much trouble. So you flip this piece up, rotate this around. This will come down, keep this piece folded in, and this piece will slide down like so. So it's all just like that. And then you want to pull these little gas things down a little bit, and that will allow the legs to lock up into place. Just like so. And then you want to pull out the little trailer hitch. Flip the little panels here and back. And then down here, you want to take this whole assembly here, and it just it's on a hinge right there at the red part, and you just hinge that up like so. And that all goes up in there, and there you have Faith Leader in truck mode. And yeah, battery's just about dead, so I'm gonna turn this off. I will continue this at a later time. Alright, so to continue on, a couple days later, I know it's only been a couple seconds for you guys, but it's been days for me. You know, work and having other videos I was been posting. I started filming this when I got the Hegemon figure review made, so I'm just a little behind, but at the same time, not really. So anyway, so yeah, he rolls real nice. He's got spring shocks in the back, not in the front though, and the front tires do not like turn or anything. So yeah, rolls pretty smooth. It turns into a truck. I don't have the G3 trailer readily available, yeah, but it wouldn't work on this anyway, which is another point against this, and a point towards Orion is the fact that it works with the G3 trailer just like the Classics Optimus does. So if that's a factor for you, this is not the way to go. So, and that's really all there is in vehicle mode. I mean, it's a truck, an Optimus Prime truck. That's pretty much it. So to transform him back, you want to split the legs, flip this back in. Foot came off, and what you want to do is you kind of like push down here on this little gas tank, and it slides out. Then you take the foot, pull this piece up, rotate this around, take this little panel here and you fold it in. Wait, no, you fold it out. Out or in? Out. Yeah, out. And you fold that panel there down. So, to show you more clearly on a piece that's not attached, you rotate this piece around, and then this panel fits in right there, like so. And then you can take the whole assembly and pop the ball joint back in. And just gonna line these things up and try and get these pistons back in. There we go. You hear sirens in the background. There's actually a really bad accident on the highway while I was coming home from work just a little bit ago. Looked like a bus versus a truck. Alright, you take this piece here and you fold this down. Take this whole assembly here and do nothing with it yet. Fold these little panels up like so. Open these out. Fold these down. And then you can take the arms here and just fold them out. Just kind of get them out of the way. Same thing over here. Out of the way. You want to take this assembly here, and it comes up. And once that comes up, you can take these pieces and rotate them around this way, like that. And then they'll come up in here. But it's not fitting right. Open this up, flip out the head, get that piece done real quick. Alright, now we do this again. And you want to get this chest piece rotated around so that the this part here is pointing up towards the top. And there you go. Just pop it up like that, and then that piece can come down like that. Then you can fit this piece up here, and then you rotate this one like so, up, and you push that into place. All that locks in together very loosely, but it does. Rotate the waist around, close the chest up, put the antenna up. Flip these two pieces back here like this, and they just kind of loosely tab together. And there you have him in robot mode, with the exception of the hands. And the reason why the exception of the hands is these little panels that you have to flip open on mine are really in there tightly, and I can't get my fingernail in there. So you just slide it out, and then you close it back up. Same thing over here. Slide it down, back up. This piece fell off. Dog's barking in the background. And there you go. That is Faith Leader in robot mode again. And as you can see, I have lots of issues with this guy. And we'll review everything one more time when I am ready for the final thoughts. But first, let's do a couple size comparisons. We're not gonna. I was gonna do like this massive size comparison, but I decided I'm not gonna do that just yet. My next video, one that's gonna come right after this, is going to be an update on the Autobot collection. So that's where we're gonna. That's what we're gonna do next. So stay tuned. You'll see all the Autobot army that I have going. So let's see. Standard Seeker mold. Right here. So he goes up about mid. He's about crotch level. here he is next to Thrust from the Igear Seekers, who is about a head shorter than him, which is, I think this scale is very good. Let's see here. I know somewhere I have Ironhide sitting over here. Okay, so I can't find Ironhide. So instead we'll do the Igear Ratchet. So again, I mean, yeah, they're both Igear, so of course these guys scale pretty well together. Let's see, here's a Masterpiece car. Again, I think scales really well with him. And Masterpiece Grimlock with the feet extensions. And again, I think scales pretty well. And of course, his counterpart, Toy World's Hegemon. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm like kind of in between houses at the moment, so it's like everything is in more disarray than normal. So he's missing his little shoulder, over-the-shoulder cannon, and he's about a head shorter. Hopefully those feet extensions that I'm getting will bring him up about there. Then I'll be at least satisfied for a little bit. Overall, the figure has lots of issues. I'm not even going to sit here and say that he doesn't and he's a good figure. He is a very fragile figure, as you've seen. He has lots of issues. He's not perfect. If I had to choose, I would have definitely gotten Orion instead. But cost-wise, this guy was $150 shipped, and Orion goes for easily $250. And that's the only reason why I did this. You know, that extra $100 is a lot of money for a $100 figure. He's $50 more than his original price. So that's not as bad as $150 more than original price. Yeah, so yeah, it just kind of original price for Orion, and going price now. I mean, I could have bought in 2.5 Orions back then. So it's really unfortunate that I sold mine. I do regret doing that. But I did need a bigger Optimus to fit in, especially since I was getting Hegemon, and I thought Hegemon was going to be a lot bigger. So it is very unfortunate that I sold it. I regret that. But we're focusing on Faith Leader here. Again, issues. Head's on a very loose ball joint. Doesn't hold on very well. Transformation is fiddly, because the transformation for this was designed for a much bigger scaled figure. These panels do not lock in very well. This panel does not hold on at all very well. And now, of course, it's not coming off. But it seems like... Oh, there it goes. It seems like every time I transform the thing, this piece just wants to come off and run off into the world. You guys saw I have... The ball joints on the feet are not tight enough, so they're constantly falling off. And if they don't, these pistons come out. So you have to replace those. The legs don't lock in and out very well. This little doohickey here. I mean, it works, but it's not very good. Let's see here. So the legs, the feet, the head. The waist doesn't lock in very well, so it's a little floppy. And one of my biggest complaints is the fact that, you know, he's got all these posable fingers, but he doesn't have any tabs for the gun. And I think that's how the original Masterpiece was designed, but his fingers held on a little bit better, if I remember. Oh, and these panels right here don't like to stay on. I'm going to have to glue these on. But you sit here and you fiddle with it and you fiddle with it, and you can get the gun kind of held in, but it doesn't like to really be a stable gun. And that's really, really irritating because, you know, Prime's supposed to have a gun. So yeah, you can get it to hold decently, but not great. But all in all, the figure itself, it has lots of issues. If you buy them, you know, be prepared for these issues. Don't go into it thinking, well, maybe I'll get a good one, because I had the Nemesis version of this a long time ago, and it had pretty much identical issues, except I remember the chest locked in a little bit better. And this was the second version. This is with the fixes. So take that as you will. The accessories are, for the most part, crap. There's really no purpose to them whatsoever. And he's not as good as I would have hoped. But he is still a decent representation of Optimus Prime. It looks great. Once you have him in robot mode, he looks amazing. He scales really well with the Masterpiece cars in a classic style collection. Let me just bring some classic these guys out here again, and then let's see here. Here's like Hardhead. So Hardhead is no longer bigger than Prime. That looks nice. And here's Unique Toys Blaster. So if you're getting the bigger bots in a classic scale, you need a bigger Optimus, and he is a substitute, a decent stand-in for Orion until you can get Orion, and that's exactly what I'm using him for. Hopefully they reissue Orion, and I can repurchase him. But as it is, this is what I'm stuck with. And quite frankly, it's not that good. Don't get me wrong, Classics Prime is still infinitely better mold and design. If somebody were just to upscale this, I'd be so happy. But you know, this is what I got. So all in all, I give the figure I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Only get it if you're prepared for the issues, or if you absolutely have to have an Optimus Prime that kind of fits in. You know, MP10 might be a little too big for this classic scale, and even so, he's still a little too big. Orion's a little shorter than he was, so Orion works a lot better. Especially with like the Dinobots and stuff like that. He still works, but he's not as good as Orion. It's almost like the scale that I'm kind of building everything around was built for Orion. So there you go. Faith Leader Optimus Prime, and stay tuned for my update on my Autobot army. We'll be getting pretty much everybody out, or at least a lot of them. I do not have enough space for all of them here. But there you go. Oh, question of the day. What are your thoughts on Faith Leader? I know a lot of people have already commented that he's not worth it. He's fragile and he will break, and I agree, he will. But like I said, he's only here until I can get a better one.